All right. Welcome, everyone, to the Serious Angler Podcast, where, as always, our main course for you will be talking and hopefully teaching you more about bass fishing. And, of course, some random rabbit holes here and there. Whether you're here to learn or just hear some bassin conversation, y'all are in the right spot. As always, I'm your host, Bailey Egbert, and joined with me is the captain, Mr. Andy Full. Back after a little 2-week hiatus because he's been binging on that Lure Lab, getting you guys episodes out.
Working hard.
That's right. Some banger shows. We are unfortunately without Idaho's finest. You guys can get some comments below because he's out on a date right now instead of being on a podcast with Coop. I know. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. The ladies can wait. All right. A podcast with Coop. You got to make the podcast with Coop.
Yes.
So we'll get a little, shame the sheekin, if you will. Actually, I kind of like that. Shame the sheekin. If you know that from fantasy fishing shows, we call him sheekin for fun. But mess with the Ekin a little bit in the comment section. You guys will. We'll get a lot of enjoyment from that. But Andy, besides going hard on the Lure Lab stuff, dude, how's the winter guide life going?
Non-existent at the moment. What guide life? It's we're halfway through February. We're in a slight warm up, and we had about a base of 70 inches of snow on the ground, and it all melted at once. Yeah. So now the creeks are high mud, but we have the itch to get the boat out. So I'm probably going to take it in to get service for the year right before we leave to drive down to Knoxville. So
is the boat in tow to Knoxville?
No, I'm not going to take the boat to Knoxville.
Can I bring your boat to Knoxville?
And you could. It'd be quite.
It's plastic. It identifies as plastic in 14 foot, so I can use it for the kayak championship.
I mean, you could slap on there. I have a kayak.
Like, we'll put a Hobie sticker on it. It says "I identify as a kayak."
Oh man, that would be something. That'd be an April Fool's joke right there. Hey, Mom, I bought a new kayak.
Yeah. What is that movie? Is it Benchwarmers where they had the Hispanic dude come in with a $20 bill and the note says "I am 12"?
Yes, I believe
I am kayak. Here's $20.
So
yeah, it's awesome. Well, we got to see each other finally today. It's been a minute. We had the Niagara Expo. This was last weekend, as the moment this podcast airs. This past weekend there was a Niagara Fishing Expo, which is nice to see. At least all the local folks that come out to that one.
Yeah, for sure.
But we got to hang out. Andy got to make fun of me doing some seminars.
No, you did great. You did better than I would have. I can't stand talking in front of people. Like, I love talking, but
you're a public speaker. What you mean?
It's fine, I guess. I've done my fair share of them. I'll let you do them now.
I just didn't want to get down from the hog trough because I was getting bit every time I pitched in there. I was like, this isn't. I was joking with people. I'm like, you guys just keep asking questions because I'm gonna keep feeling a tug right here because the urge to swing on some of those fish. I was flipping a Bronco bug in there, and I'm like, every time it wouldn't even hit the bottom, they'd eat it, and they're just running with it. I'm like, please, just give me the strength to not set the hook. And I'm just sitting there itching to just.
Can you do me a favor in your seminars tomorrow? Don't use baits that get bit and show everyone the world, right? Like.
Well, I don't have seminars tomorrow, so there you go. Wish granted.
Lucky duck. Yeah, I mean,
you can blame Jose at Doc's for that. Okay, you can blame him because he's like, "Hey, would you do a dice seminar?" And I'm like, "Fine." I didn't show him the best. I showed him a good one. I didn't show him the best one. Don't worry.
There's a lot.
Now you got people commenting, "Why would you not talk about what the best baits are?" The Bronco bug is badass. I'll say that loud and clear. Bronco bug is badass. But yeah, dude, it was good to see you today. We're gonna have dinner tomorrow night, which is gonna be good. We got the boys.
2 days in a row. That's a rarity.
I know.
Wow.
You think we're 20 minutes away, but our calendars are just unreal. But hey, some cool shows are coming up. Let's start with the Lure Lab. What you got coming up for the Lure Lab?
So this is going out a week and a half later. We will be having, I think, Dylan Grubb on. We're gonna be talking some Great Lakes finesse stuff.
Fitting for today's podcast.
Yeah. And then we have, in the past, we had a good Lure Lab, but we had a good spinnerbait episode on Lure Lab. And I'm hoping to get the Shad Wrap episode finished with Baitman so we can get that up there as well. And then some more stuff in the works.
Talk about a classic.
That's a classic. Classic for the classic, you know?
And there you go. So they're going to have a Shad Wrap tied on. You can bet that for Knoxville.
Probably in like demon color or something like citrus shady. What I think the classic's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, agreed. Well, from the serious angler side of things, we have on Monday, we got a real biology with Bob Lusk, which if anybody missed that one, I did an in-person podcast with Bob Lusk, who was kind of the mentor for Barden. So if you guys like Steve Barden, our biologist friend here on the network, Bob Lusk is his mentor. And Bob Lusk is a fishing freaking nerd. He was the guy that basically was in charge of stocking and maintaining all of Ray Scott's his own private ponds. And so
Jeez.
that guy knows bass. He knows fish. And so we got
A
Bob
little bit.
on the show Monday. Gonna nerd out on that. Next Wednesday. Well, actually, no, that would have been already aired by now. So you'll have that then. Next Monday, excuse me, will be Cody Meyer. We got Cody Meyer coming on the podcast for Seriously Western. We got Julius Maisie coming on the podcast. We got Tristan McCormick coming on the podcast.
Stacked.
We got quite the lineup coming up for you guys here on the show. Some new guys, actually, some new young guns too that have not been on the show. So maybe some names that you might not know now, but you will need to know because you're going to see them later. So we have quite the schedule coming up for you guys. We're trying to get those cranked out here pre-classic week so that when I'm away for 2 weeks that you guys are not losing out on shows. So I'm trying to do my due diligence now. But for the folks, before we get into today's show, which is an awesome one with Cooper Gallant, we talk about obviously the flip-flop non-forward facing versus forward facing schedule and talk about not the intricacies of that itself, but like the strategy behind the prep and also from a mindset and adjustment standpoint. We dive into a lot of that mindset of going into championship style events versus regular season events, and so much more. So it's you get a lot from it from Coop because he's obviously a great fountain of knowledge. But before we get into that with him, one thing I say this because it's relevant. I just got a giant Omnia package in because I made a big order pre championship. Got a lot of crazy. I basically found all the brands that I had never heard of in my life that Omni has gotten that are all JDM and bought a bunch of stuff from them
Some
and
good ones.
some really good ones. Some cool stuff that just super. I almost bought them more because I'm intrigued what the heck they look like in person. So they have quite a stacked inventory of some cool stuff right now for you guys to go take advantage of. And also, we haven't talked about this in a while, Andy. The pro member only sales page.
Oh my gosh, so many good things on there for sale.
Yeah.
Like I've been enjoying refreshing that like on a weekly basis because you just don't know what's gonna pop in there. Like there's some I think there's even some St. Croix rods on there that are like
Physics or whatever they're called.
yeah, like deeply discounted.
Yeah.
Deeply. Bates Reels I know is another one right now. Maybe was it the Berkeley Jerkbait? The Stunna, I think, is another one as well.
I think every version of it, like the plus
Yeah.
one, I don't know if they call it the junior, but it's like their
I
smaller
think it's just
version.
100.
100, yeah, with the 2 hook versus the 3 hook. Yeah. And also on there, I love how you call it Nishini, but
Nishini.
Which is a sleeper lipless crank. That's discounted on there. Humminbird rafts are heavily discounted on there. So there's a whole bunch of stuff on there, but you have to be a pro member to access it. And there's not just advantages being a pro member for that. There's a lot more between the mapping layers and all that stuff that you can get. Member only discount stuff that are sales that pop up, which is like could be, I mean, it was what 40% off jackhammers a month ago or something like that,
Yeah.
which is just absurd.
And then you get
So
money back every time you buy as well, which is
yeah,
a perk upon a perk on a perk.
yeah, it almost doesn't end. So make sure you guys become a pro member if you're not already. I think beyond that, oh, Andy, I forgot to ask you. This is actually the perfect time because you've been onloading onto the Bloodknot app for guiding for this year, and
Yeah.
this is kind of the season start getting ready, and they're coming out with a pretty freaking sick update for the springtime. But for you,
Yeah,
guiding wise, how's it been?
it's pretty sweet. Like it allows me to align each individual trip that I offer, right? From smallmouth, largemouth, all the way into the steelhead, half day, full days. I could do technique specific trips in there. So when the client books, I know exactly what it is. I can keep track of it more easily. It's more readily available. But like that new update that's coming is awesome because it's driven by guides, right? Like, because it's an app for guides. It's not just a
Yeah,
marketplace where you go out and you can you put in a giant database and people search and then they click through the pages, they could click on you. Like, it's your own database, your own home base for your guide business to set up a calendar and everything, right? Like, it's at the tip of your hands. You can control it. And all these updates that are coming in the next version are because of the guides that are already on the app to make it even better for guides that are looking for something to simplify their process. And it's definitely helping me.
Yeah, this is not just another online thing. We're speaking to our friends out here that are guides. If you're serious about making guiding as your profession, your business, this is where you need to be, because it's not just like they're putting out a service for you to go find book guide trips and they're taking a percentage of it and that's their priority. No, this is one where they are personally, as Andy just mentioned, reaching out to these guides. How can we make this better for you? How is it making your life easier? That's their priority. Bringing in, obviously, not just, hey, AI, make us a guiding platform. No, it's how can we implement AI into your guiding business to then make sure you're a better communicator. Your life is, less management you have to do, less hands off, so that you can spend more time out, obviously, fishing and guiding. So it's so freaking sick, dude. And that's coming from someone that's not even a guide. Like,
I
I nerd
enjoy
out,
it.
my OCD nerds out on stuff like this. And it's like, it almost makes me want to go make a profile just for the fact of I enjoy that
You
weird
could always
crap.
become a kayak guide.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm all right. All set on that part. But check out the Blood Knot app if you are a fishing guide and you're serious about making guiding your
Absolutely.
actual, if you want it to be your business, this is the platform to be at. But
Yeah, you don't need 15 pads of paper, 7 calendars, and 75 different text chains trying to remember who your next state client is. It can do all of that for you in one spot.
One-stop shop. Just like our guest today, he's one-stop shop for everything fishing. That's for dang sure. So I think without further ado, let's get into today's episode, Mr. Cooper Gallant. We are back with the man, Mr. Cooper Gallant, and it's been a minute. I think a year and a half maybe was the last time I think we had you on here.
Yeah, man, I think it might even be longer than that.
Dude, I'm
don't know.
infamous for thinking like maybe it's been like 8 months since we had him. And I go and I look and it's like 3 years. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It flies, but it seems recent. Maybe it's because I'm obnoxious and I'm sliding your guys' DMs all the time, just saying hello. But it could be that too. But
Yeah, I can't remember. Honestly, I think it was like 4 years ago because I think I came on when I won the Open, wasn't it?
Oh, you've been on since then.
Have
I know
Okay.
I think that was the first time. Now I'm curious. Now I'm gonna go look, because
Yeah.
if it's 4
can't
years, I'm
remember.
gonna feel terrible.
Doesn't
First
matter.
time was
We're back.
2022, which is crazy.
It's
got to be
nuts.
more than that.
No, it's definitely been within the last 12 months.
No, there's no way.
Maybe you're on Lure Lab. Maybe not. Seriously. Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'm so curious now. Now I feel stupid for being, if it is 4 years. Holy smokes.
Time
Dude,
flies.
you're not in the north, which is obviously nice for you. It looks like a little bit of sunburn going on right now.
Yeah, a little bit of sunburn mixed between that and a windburn. Yeah, we've had a good winter back home. For all my ice fishing friends, they're all fired up, but I am not a fan of the snow. Like, I come down here and even at the last event on Gunnersville, I was complaining how cold it was, and everyone's like, "Oh, Coop, you should be used to it," or whatever. And I'm like, just because I live in Canada and grew up in Canada, it doesn't mean I like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's fair.
Yeah.
I can't stand it. Like, growing up snowboarding, absolutely, I loved it. But now that I don't snowboard and I just want to bass fish and
Yeah.
not fish through a 6-inch hole, not my thing.
Are you gonna be is snowbirding in your future?
Yeah, for sure.
I think you could say he's already doing that.
I guess you kind of are a snowbird. A nomadic
Yeah,
snowbird, I guess we'll say.
Yeah, I'm home usually up until the first event, which is either January or February, and then I don't go home all winter. Yeah,
Dude,
so
I didn't realize my parents had bought a house in Florida a few years back. They just sold it, but I didn't realize from them moving down, I didn't realize how much of Florida is impacted by people from Canada that moved down there for the winter.
yeah,
It's
there's
crazy.
tons of Canadians that move down there and have places for sure. I mean, it's the place to go if you're Canadian and you want to get out of the snow, right?
Yeah. There's only one place that's really that warm that time of year.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, dude, sounds like you're doing a little bit of pre-practice before its classic time, but sounds like you're at least doing a little bit of bassing, a little bit of prep.
Yeah, man. So I'm here on Tom Bigby. It's cut off on Sunday, so I was out for a few hours today. I'll be out tomorrow and then Sunday. And yeah, just looking around this place. I heard it's very sketchy to run around, so I'm just coming mainly like I won't even make casts. I don't even have a rod on the front deck. I'm literally just putting hours on the Merc, trying to see all the backwaters and mark some trails. That way, when we come back for the Derby, like I'm not wasting time idling into the back of a pocket when I know I can run back there, right? So I
Yeah.
want to try and save as much time when official practice rolls around. So that's why I'm here, and then I'm gonna head to Arkansas River next week and do the same thing, and then off to the classic.
Yeah, 'cause they're just in time, just in case you have any Tom Bigby hiccups to get the
What's up?
boat
Yeah,
ready.
yeah,
To get the
yeah,
boat
for
ready for
sure.
classic time.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool. Well, dude, we were just talking a little bit offline, kind of starting about the year so far. You have one forward facing event, one non forward facing event. We kind of briefly chatted about Gunnersville, and dude, how did that feel? One, the surprise, not knowing you're going to get bit, and then it's a freaking 8-pounder.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. That was so. This is how it went down. So I had a pretty good day one. I think I had like 17 and a half day one, slugging a chatterbait and a trap around. And then day two rolls around. I was struggling like all day. And I swear it's funny. Like I looked at Dad, he's in another boat filming, right? He's my camera guy on tour, and
Yeah.
he's on another boat filming, and I kind of cracked a joke to him, like, hey, am I gonna leave it till last minute like I usually do? And he kind of laughed because I usually do. Like, I don't know what it is, but like I catch more big bass in the last hour or 2 hours of the tournament than not. And
Mm.
he kind of laughed, and and now I have an hour left. I've got like nothing in the box, like struggling hard, like not even getting bites. And now I've got like 40 minutes. Got like I can't remember what I had, but it was like nothing. It was between like 8 and 12 pounds. Like
Mm.
just a terrible bag, and made a little adjustment at the end of the day, and I caught like 23 and a half pounds with like 20 minutes to go. And that 8 and a quarter pounder I caught, literally, I looked at the boys, my dad and my camera boat driver. I looked at them and I'm like, a couple more casts, we're gonna have to rip back. And like it was like the next cast I hooked that 8 and a quarter. And I didn't know how big it was. I set the hook, caught it on a chatterbait up real shallow in like 6-7 inches of water, and I leaned into her, reeled, and she started digging, got me in some weeds or whatever, and I'm reeling. I knew it was a big one, like a 4-pounder, 5-pounder. And then it got to the boat, and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's a 6-pounder. And then I put it in the live well, strapped my rods down, went back. And then when I was bagging my fish, I'm like, dude, that's an 8-pounder. Like it just kept growing and growing and growing. And then waited for big fish, and it was 8 and a quarter. It was crazy. But literally at that tournament, like everything happened on day two in the last minutes. And same with Lake Martin, honestly. Like I caught probably 90% of my bag every single day of the tournament in the last hour.
Wow.
So it's just been one of those hopefully I'm not doing that all year because it's stressful.
Yeah, it's heavy on the heart. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
But
must
yeah,
be
man.
such a great feeling too when you come out to like the weigh and you're like, oh, I got more than I thought I did. Like this is awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I thought I
It's
had
the
like
worst when it
19
goes the other way.
pounds. Yeah, 100%. But
It's nice when they grow up on you versus when they shrink on you. That's for dang sure.
yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Do you think that last couple hour thing is that like? Do you think that's just happenstance, or you're hitting a high percentage area the last minute, or maybe it's just like, all right, we got an hour, time to really focus up?
It's a little bit of both. I think like Lake Martin, like even in practice, I wasn't really getting bites till like the afternoon. So like that was kind of like I was kind of expecting it every day for the bite to turn on for me, like from like 12 to 3 or 12 to weigh in or whatever. Um yeah, so that was kind of expected. I don't know, I just couldn't really get bit until the like sun really came out and the water warmed up a bit.
Mhm.
I know guys were catching them all day, but for whatever reason, I just couldn't get any good bites throughout the day until like that last hour or two. Um and then Gunnersville, that 23 and a half pounds I caught, it was just me making a a pretty simple adjustment. I just moved real shallow and started catching them shallow. And after day 2, I was all fired up to get out there on day 3 because I thought I'd figured something out. And I forced that shallow bite like all day on day 3, and it just didn't work. But that's what's so crazy about fishing. Like you think you dial something in, and then like you realize you didn't. It's like, okay, now what do I do? And like you're always trying to like stay ahead of the game and like adapt and try and figure out what you need to be doing that day. But yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I feel like those events like you're talking about with Martin, where you like knew that there's a certain window towards the afternoon when you're gonna get bit. I feel like mentally it's so hard to figure out what to do that morning, like before you know that window's gonna snap. Like you're almost like you just want to just sleep in until you go to get out in the afternoon because you're like, I don't want to waste time in this area. I don't want to spook fish that I don't have to. But then also it's like I don't want to leave it alone because the competitors come in, and it's like, how do you balance that mentally? Like, do you just go spin your wheels in the new area or what?
Yeah, like honestly, like Lake Martin, I just fished around like every day. I thought I was on a pretty good deal after practice. Like I was catching some pretty good ones, like consistent 2.5s, like pretty
Mm.
good. And then day 1 of the tournament rolled around, and like everything I found in practice, like, and I knew within the first few hours, I'm like, yeah, I need to switch it up. And then I literally just treated every day like practice, now to fish new water every single day. I had one pretty key stretch where I had some big spots on a couple little key brush piles on this island. So I like kind of milk run that every day, and I'd catch maybe one big one. But other than that, like I was just fishing all new water every
Dang.
single day of the tournament. And like I said, I couldn't really get bit till after like 12:30, 1 o'clock. And in the morning, like after day 1, I'm like, I need to do something different tomorrow. So I went and fished for floaters, only caught like 7 pounds. Couldn't get any big floater bites. Then I went shallow, couldn't get bites. And then like 12:30, 1 o'clock rolled around, I started getting bites. But every day during that time where I couldn't figure out how to get big bites, I would just keep trying to figure it out, and I never did. But yeah.
So far, I mean, only 2 events in with the new format, but like, do you feel like there's any surprises or any adjustments you weren't anticipating going into like the prep for a non-forward facing event versus one that where you could have it on? You need gear that works as hard as you do. That's why Amped Outdoors is the official power solution of the Serious Angler podcast. From unmatched battery nerd customer service to performance that thrives in extreme winter cold or summer heat, keeps you on the water longer. Click the link in the show notes to get you powered up with Amped Outdoors. Now back to the show.
Not really, man. I mean, it's just different. Like we were saying earlier before we had started going live here. Like the only thing that felt weird was like the first day of Gunnersville. Like you keep looking down at your graph to like scan the scope over to see where the grass line is. And it's like without scope, like so it was weird the first day, but after the first day, like you completely forgot about it. I had the 360 going, which helped. Um, I don't know. It makes it, I'll be honest with you, like I love scope. It's such a good tool. I'm not hating against it at all. Like I
Yeah.
love it. But it's fun without it for sure. Like every bite you get's you don't know when you're getting bit a lot of the time. With scope, you can see them, and it's like you know when you're gonna get bit. Like that 8.25 pounder I caught. I had no idea she was up there, and I hooked her, and it's just a different feeling not knowing when you're gonna get bit, right?
Yeah.
Um, and it's a grass fishery. I mean, you don't need scope out there. It's just your typical grass fishery, trapping around, chatterbaiting, swim baiting. Yeah, I don't know. I love it. I love not using it. It's just it's gonna be
Yeah.
cool to see at the end of the year. Like it'll just be cool to see how everything shapes out
Yeah.
with the split.
Now, do you feel like with the no tech events, it changed your like prep or map study at all? Be like, okay, these are areas that I traditionally would fish with, like, say, scope, and now you have possibly other areas that you're fishing without it, right? Like, so has it changed up your prep at all?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if we were allowed scope, we'd all have 8 minnow rods on the front deck and maybe a couple grass rods, and we'd be fishing out in 10 to 50 feet of water rather than 1 to 8. So yeah, it's definitely changed it up, how you break down the lake and how you look at the lake. But um, at the end of the day, it's an even playing field for everyone. everyone doesn't have scope, and
Yeah.
it's is what it is.
I was talking when you're mentioning like you hear a bunch of people talk about it with no scope and you get the bite, how there's like the unexpected, the surprise excitement you get. And one thing I don't hear people talking about is like it's still exciting to get bit on scope. It's just a different the bite on scope is a buildup of like you it's have all this suspense till you
Yeah,
finally get bit. Where like without scope, it's just like surprise, I'm here. Like it's
yeah,
two
yeah,
different types of it, you know? Both
yeah, for
exciting,
sure.
it's just different. But yeah, there definitely is something nice to the fact. Like I think Pollinix, I think Bass 365 posted something too. Pollinix said something very similar where it's like we love all forms of fishing, but it is nice sometimes to just go wind, go
Yeah,
chuck and wind.
yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
heck yeah, man. Um, with that, I'm kind of curious because we saw obviously it was the Dice and Koike event at Martin. I think that was like the most fuzz I think I've seen in an event so far throughout the elites, at least from a fan perspective. Do you anticipate people trying to throw that and maybe some minnows like on some more non-scope events throughout the year, kind of like Hartman was doing a little bit with Gunnersville?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Hartman was throwing a minnow. Gussie was too. I think Gussie caught like every single one of his fish on Gunnersville on minnow. He caught quite a few of them on 2D too, like right below the boat, which is
All
kind
right,
of
you're doing
cool.
some moping. All right.
Yeah, like
It's
he was
crazy how
straight
they'll
up open
actually
on T though.
eat up and
Yeah,
down without live scope. It's crazy.
yeah. But no, I think for sure, especially like you're not gonna see guys like out in the middle and nowhere, I don't think. I mean, you
Yeah.
might see it a little bit, like Gussie, moping below the boat. But like I think where you're gonna see like Jamie, I don't know what he was doing or anything, but I'm assuming he was either throwing at like a hard spot or a weed clump or like the edge of the weeds. Like he was throwing at something where there could be a fish. You know what I mean? But like I don't think there's gonna be guys throwing a dice style bait or a minnow like out in the abyss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're
Yeah.
gonna be throwing it at like a target, right? So like if you find a
Yeah.
hard spot on Gunnersville, for example, in 5, 6, 7 feet of water or whatever, you know they're down there and you're catching them on a football jig or whatever or trap. Chances are, if you count down that minnow right, you can throw that minnow down there and they'll eat it or the dice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think guys are going to be just throwing it out in the middle of nowhere for the no scope events.
I'm so curious to see if anybody's taking their 2D deucers and pointing them forward on these non-scope events just to see.
Yeah, I thought about it, but I'm like, oh man, I don't have the energy to try and figure that out.
It's
It's a
a
lot.
whole different like dimension of trying to understand what you're looking at too when you're thinking about 2D.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It could work. I mean, I feel like it would work, but I think it has to like hit bottom though, right? So it might mess it up if it's tilted on an angle. I don't
Yeah.
know.
It might not read until it like sees a fish, right? Like, you'll just get like a random red blob.
It's just a white
Yeah.
screen. And you're like, oh, there's a streak. It must be a fish.
Yeah, I don't
Then
know how
I
that
guess
would work.
yeah, I feel like if a fish is then 30 feet out, then yeah, so you're just reading a 30-foot depth line, basically. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like trying to understand what you're looking at then is almost more complicated than just go chuck and wind.
Yeah, it's too complicated for me.
Or
I was
just
so curious about that too, thinking about when I was seeing Gussie throwing the smelt nader in practice. I'm like, this dude's out here back with his 2D. He's like the 2D master.
Yeah, he
He's
had a
got
good derby too. He caught
yeah,
him. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
it's awesome.
Yeah. Well, so you mentioned a little bit how you're offline talking about Big B, and I was curious because you guys are not allowed to use scope in practice for the non-scope events, but using it. So obviously, you're putting in the time, doing some pre-practice. Now, if you were to fish, do you think having scope in the pre-practice would be an advantage to you at all, and when you're just trying to understand certain areas?
For a place like Tom Bigby, no. The only time I'd use it like right now during pre-practice is to make sure I don't hit a stump. Like,
Yeah.
but I don't think it wouldn't do me any good at a river system like this. When we're back here, everyone's gonna be, from what I understand, and after seeing the place today, it's gonna be a bank beaten derb for the most part. Um, yeah, but I don't know, maybe somewhere like Gunnersville, like if you pre-practice Gunnersville and you scoped around, maybe that could be an advantage. finding them on a bluff or something that you can come down without scope and, blind cast them. But somewhere like
Yeah.
Tom Bigby, it being a river system and all, I don't know how much the main river is going to play, and I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of scoping going on. But who knows? There's been some
Yeah.
tournaments where I see people scope and we're like, oh, you're like Sabine River. I think there's some people scoping. So you
It was
never
like
know.
Taku, right? It was like Taku that
Yeah,
kind of exposed
maybe.
that.
Yeah. I won't
Yeah.
be scoping when we come back here. I'll tell you. Well, we can anyway, but yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. How are you liking the format so far? Is it fun having to adjust and kind of flip flop?
Yeah, it's fun, man, for sure. Like Gunnersville, I remember looking at that, like, man, I miss just chucking and winding. This feels good. So it's fun. It's cool to see, like, the scopers still catching them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool to see. I love to see that. And then yeah, it's just different. It's a change up, and it makes it interesting, and I don't mind it at all. Like I was saying earlier, like I love scope. It's a great tool. I love it. Love using it. It's fun. But at the same time, I like beating bank and picking up a winding rod and chucking and winding just as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta ask before we start moving on to a couple different things here, but with that, the saw you throwing that chatterbait on day one at Gunnersville. I'm always curious about chatterbait specifically when it comes to the gear, because I feel like almost everyone you talk to for the most part is different in regards to like rod selection and all that stuff. Obviously, being a G Loomis guy, I'm curious your setup for the old chatter plug.
Yeah, so I throw a G Loomis IMX Pro 883. It's a longer rod. You can bomb a chatterbait. It's not glass, but it almost feels like glass. Like it's a super parabolic rod, but it
Mm,
has like I don't like glass because I find there's not enough backbone. And that 883 the IMX Pro G Loomis has, it's like that happy medium. It's like not too stiff, it's not too parabolic, like it's just in my opinion perfect. Um like typically when I fish chatterbait, like most of us, like when you get a bite, you just reel, and that like the rod just loads up so nice,
mhm.
and then you just lean into them. And like just that lean and the power in the rod is basically setting the hook. Like you're not setting the hook like crazy. And I still do sometimes just out of reaction, but like more so just reel and lean into them. And that rod, it just loads up so nice. And it's parabolic, has backbone, and having a parabolic rod, a longer rod like that, it just keeps them pinned. Almost every rod in my boat is like 7.3 or bigger. I like long rods. Parabolic, I like having bend. It just keeps them pinned. I grew up steelhead fishing, and we use like 13-foot float rods and like size 14 hooks, and you never lose them. Like you hook a 15-pound steelhead with a tiny little hook, a long rod, and they get on the bank every time because of that long rod.
Mm.
And so I've kind of taken that into bass fishing. I try and throw the longer rods.
Careful
And
You
to
can get away
sometimes
with
steelhead.
like,
lighter line too by running a longer rod.
what's that?
You can get away with a little bit lighter line as well because of all the
100%.
shock
Yeah.
absorption.
Exactly. Exactly. And there's some rods I can fish more accurate with if I was fishing a shorter rod. But I'm willing to lose that accuracy, knowing that once I hook that fish, the percentage of it getting in the boat is higher than using a shorter rod. I just have so much confidence with a long parabolic rod keeping them pinned and getting them in the boat, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. I love that train of thought. Besides like flipping a jig or something like that, I have like a 7-1 heavy for flipping a jig specifically. Otherwise, I'm kind of in that same train of 7.3 to 7.6, kind of a lot of them within there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love that train of thought. And careful on the steelhead stuff. You get Andy going. This is his steelhead season. He'll nerd out over here.
I'm okay right now. It's
What?
about to be bass fishing season, so
Yeah, yeah, steelheads in the past.
What's your minnow rod, Bailey?
Say
You
what?
throw a short minnow rod or a long minnow rod?
Dude, and 7.2, 7.3. There's one I like that's even like a 7.4, and
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of that, especially because if you're going past 80 foot out, I feel like there's so much more advantage to that versus the 6.5s.
for sure. And it feels nicer twitching with a 6.5 because like you can twitch down. It's like it feels nicer twitching with a shorter rod, but it just feels way nicer setting the hook on a long rod, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
And you said
know
it
what I mean?
perfect, dude. It just feel like there's more confidence, like, especially when they get closer to the boat, that they're not gonna just pull the hook. Like it's,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that what you're on too with the minnow stuff? Is that the longer 7.2, 7.3s?
Yeah, I'm running a 891, so it's a 7.5. It's a
Oh,
long one.
dang.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It's long. It's like one of those things. It's like some guys ask me, like, you throwing 891 for a minnow? I'm like, yeah. Works for me, right? That's what's so cool about fishing. There's so many things that if it works for you, just keep rolling with it. There's no right or wrong in fishing, right?
Well, the
Absolutely.
nice thing about the longer rod too is you can still launch the really lightweights, but can also handle the
Yeah,
bigger minnows as well because
Mhm.
you can still load up and throw them.
for sure.
Yeah. Well, dude, talking on the bait thing for 2026, having the flip flop schedule now, what do you think is like kind of your top 3 confidence baits for this year?
Oh man, to be honest with you, I don't even know where we're going half the year. I'm like,
Yeah.
He's like, I haven't
I'm
even
like,
looked yet.
dude, I take one tournament at a time and that's it. Like it's funny, like I'll have buddies ask me like, "Oh, where's your tournament after this one?" And I'm like, to be honest with you, I have no idea. Like I have to look at my calendar. Um, all I know is Tom Bigby's after the Classic and then Arkansas River because I'm here now. But usually I just try and take one derby at a time. But over the past few years, like some staples, man, I don't know. Obviously a minnow like during the scope tournaments. And then winding tournaments. I've caught a lot of bass on a chatterbait over the past few years of being on the elites and a jig. Um, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, sorry. I'm just
No,
take
you're
one at a
good,
time.
dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, this is this is why I do the podcast thing, dude. It doesn't have to be the most spectacular answer, but people eat this stuff up, man. They want to know. They want to know what the hell you're throwing.
Yeah.
Well, that's the cool thing too with what you're doing with the YouTube stuff. There's really not much secrets. You kind of lay it all out there.
Yeah,
Which
man.
I'm looking forward to seeing that
I
eight
don't
pound
I
drum.
don't I don't have too many secrets at all. Like, I mean, I've got a couple for sure, but like everything I do, like I'm so open to share with everyone. Like, I don't know. At the end of the day, like these fisheries change so much, and I mean, I don't know. There's not a whole lot of secrets out there.
At Serious Angler, we're a half-ton truck crew, and we're towing boats all the time. You already know the deal. You load up the bed, you hook up the trailer, now you've got squat, sway, and that moment when the wind hits or a semi passes you, and you tighten up on the wheel. After looking at a bunch of options, Road Active Suspension was the solution that made the most sense for us. It's built to help your truck feel more level and more controlled when you're towing or hauling. If you want a calmer, more confident drive to the ramp, check them out and use code SERIOUS10 for 10% off.
I don't think there's as many as people think there is. You know what I mean? Like there for
Mhm.
sure is,
Yeah.
100%. But it's not like we're doing something crazy every single tournament. Like,
Right.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. I feel like you got your guys that have, like, you hear the stories of, I always remember this one that Hamner told us with Kyoya. How he always has his rods tucked away before he gets back to weigh in so nobody can see what
Yeah.
he's throwing. And then I feel like you have that end of the spectrum. And then you have guys like yourself that, like, it's unless, you're doing a great job of hiding it, it seems like it's relatively, like, not chalk, but like pretty mainstay stuff that you're better at finding the fish that want to eat that stuff versus trying to go crazy on the bait selection.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's
Yeah.
uh it's one of the, I don't know, for me anyway, like I try not to overcomplicate things. I like to find eaters,
Mhm.
ones that just want to eat my bait. I don't want to have to mess with them too much if I don't have to.
Give me the dumb
Um,
fish.
yeah, like
All about it.
I just like catching eaters. That's it. I don't like messing with ones that don't want to eat unless I know they're giant, and then I'll start pulling some tricks out. But I don't know. It's one of those things. I just keep it pretty simple and try and be in the right area at the right time, make the right decisions, and catch the 5 biggest ones I can every day.
I love that. And that is kind of the perfect segue into one of the things I wanted to ask you. And one of the things I kind of want to ask a few guys going forward, but for anglers that are getting into the sport right now, and this kind of was inspired by, we've been working this, Andy and I have been at the expo here in Niagara Falls, and we're meeting a lot of people that, a lot of people are still just now getting into the sport. And I think we get so caught in the hustle bustle all the time that we forget that there's thousands upon thousands of people that are getting into bass fishing. This is a brand new world for them. And right now, all they're seeing is these crazy tentacles and dice and fuzzy crap everywhere. And they're like, holy smokes, there's 3 million different minnow baits you can go buy. And it's like, it's crazy to just see what you can get and what's like the hot topic. And so, like, them getting into it, they see all this. And it's like, do you think it's still important for them to like go back to the classics first of like throw the spinnerbait, learn that, throw the jig, learn that, throw, a square bill, learn that before getting crazy and all this insane JDM stuff? Or do you think they can kind of just skip over that now?
Yeah, I mean, whatever they want to do. But I mean, there's still always going to be a place for a spinner bug. There's always going to be a time and place. Throw a chatterbait, a spook, a jig. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I definitely feel like you can operate it in the dice deal right away, but there's certain places where you can't throw a dice, and there's certain places you're going to want to throw a jig or a spinner bug, right? So, yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just one of those things to definitely not throw the staples and what's been catching bass forever. They're always going to eat a spinnerbait. They're always going to eat a jig.
Yeah. Yeah. In my mind, I feel like you have to understand the basics, or at least it will be a great stepping stone to understand the basics. Like going out and understanding how to throw a wacky rig, I feel like can help you then go and throw the dice. I feel like going and throwing a jerk bait will help you then be able to go throw a glide and stuff like that. Like understanding cadence and all that kind of stuff, I feel like can help the stepping stone. But I don't know. I thought that was a very interesting. It popped in my head. I'm like, maybe he'll have a different answer for this. But yeah, I was as soon as it popped in my head earlier this morning at this expo, it's all I can think about since then for whatever reason. But yeah, go ahead, Andy.
How's this, Coop? What do you think is coming after the dice? What do you think would be next?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I know
that's what's
stuff
crazy
like,
is it's always gonna evolve. There's always gonna be the next best thing. And that's what's so cool about it's just gonna be cool to see, like over the next 2, 3, 4, 10 years, like what's gonna be the new big thing in 10 years. Like the dice might just be like any other, well, it is gonna be like any other bait in 5, 10 years, and it's like, what's next? That's what's so cool. Yeah, so I'm working with Great Lakes Finesse now. They're huge in the smallmouth finesse smallmouth side of things, and I'm really looking forward to designing baits with them. And that's what makes me so fired up about bait design is like we're gonna do something different. This could be the next best thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so I'm actually designing a bait with them right now, and it's very, very different. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm fired up about it.
I thought we were getting it to see it firsthand. I thought you were leaving to go grab it. I was like, whoa,
are we
here we go.
We're still in the early stages, and we still got lots of work to do. But it's very different. It catches them. Who knows? It might be the next best thing. Like you never know. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that's what's so cool about. It's cool. I'm fired up to see the next best thing in the next year, 2, 3 years.
yeah.
I just hope it doesn't get too crazy, you know what I mean? I hope we don't start like throwing like, I don't know, monster cans or like, you know what I mean? This random stuff like dog toys. I mean, the Koiki looks like a dog toy, like it's getting crazy, but it just goes to show like fish are so, especially smallmouth, they're curious creatures. And a lot of the times, like you always hear people say like match the hatch. And it's true. Like a lot of like matching the hatch is very important, but there's definitely times, especially with smallmouth, where matching the hatch always isn't the right answer. They're such curious creatures. Like if you can show them something they've never seen before, it doesn't even have to look like anything. They're gonna eat it out of curiosity. You know what I mean? So that's why I think they eat a lot of these crazy looking baits is not because it looks like anything in the water, and that's why they're eating it. They're curious, like, what's this? Let's try it. Right?
This hasn't been thrown over my head 3,000 times today already. Let's try this.
Yeah.
New ball? Like
Yeah.
retriever of fishing.
That's the joke I keep making, dude. It's like, stop going and buying tackle, at fishing tackle shops. Just go to PetSmart. You'll find probably the next best thing
Yeah.
right there. Yeah, that's
Seriously though.
additionally. But dude, when you
Crazy.
go home and it's not a late series season, cameras are put away, and you just want to go be stress free, forget about the world, and go bassing. What are you doing? Like, you going largemouth fishing? You going smallmouth fishing? What's your stress reliever?
Yeah, to be completely honest, man, I haven't really got to do that in the last couple years. Like usually when I go home, I'm like straight on the computer, like catching up with editing. Um, like last year, I think I was only home 2 months of the year, and it was basically the 2 months I had to prep to get ready for this season. Um, so yeah, I don't go home a whole lot anymore. I'm in the States pretty well full time, even though I live back home still. I'm just constantly on the road. But if I were to go home, say next week, and I had 2 weeks to just go fishing, and there wasn't 2 feet of ice on all the lakes, I'd probably do a mix up between like some local smallmouth lakes, whether it be like Rice Lake or Lake Simcoe, which are two lakes I grew up fishing, more so Rice Lake, and then maybe go to Bay of Quinte for largemouth. I spent a lot of time out there growing up. And then just spending times with friends and family, man. I have a lot of buddies back home I grew up in high school with that I barely see anymore. It's crazy. They're all going to be coming down to the Classic, a lot of them, so I'm pretty fired up to see them.
Heck yeah.
Then yeah, just spending time with my family, nieces, nephews. The Gallant family's getting big. My brothers are just popping them out left, right, and center. So um, it's
Attaboy.
yeah.
I
But
love it.
yeah, man, just fishing locally, hanging out with friends and family.
Yeah, you like to dabble with a little bit of salt stuff too throughout the year, don't you?
Yeah, we try and do so we do that other series, our other YouTube series called The Road Trip. I'm slacking a little bit. I still have 2 episodes I got to do from last year. So last year we did Puerto Rico. We went to No Name Lodge. It's a fly fishing lodge in Puerto Rico, and we did fly fish for tarpon. That was super cool. And then we did
Oh,
a trip up north with our buddy Doug Wagner and Jesse Baker for Big Muskie. That's gonna be a sweet episode. We caught him pretty good, and then nothing planned yet for this year, but we usually do like 2 or 3 a year, and we do them usually in the fall time, like once the elite season's over, like anywhere from like August to October, basically. Um,
yeah.
yeah, it's fun. It's basically just a series. Like we started doing it like, geez, probably 7 years ago now, 6 years ago. The first road trip we ever went on, we rented an RV, and there was like 4 or 5 of us. We did like a 45-hour round trip. We went to like Lake Nipigon, which is it was like, it's not considered one of the Great Lakes, but like it's massive. Like if you look at it on a map, it's huge. And so we did that, big speckled trout, pike, Lakers, whitefish. So that was super cool. And we did a whole round trip. We went up and visited Gussie, went all the way up to Kenora, and then all the way back home in this RV. And we filmed and documented it all. And that was the first one we did. And we're like, man, we should start a series called The Road Trip. And we did. And we've been doing about 2 or 3 episodes every single year. It gives us an excuse to get all the boys together and go on a
Yeah.
road trip and film and document it all and and just scratch that next fishing adventure off our bucket list. That's basically what we do. It's funny, like I love bass fishing, love the competitive side of things, but like
Yeah.
part of me wishes our season ended in like June because I love fishing for everything. I love fishing for muskie, pike, I'll fish for carp. Like I don't care what it is, like any type of fish just fires me up if it's a big one. So
Yeah.
we have fun with it, man.
So,
A
what
lot of
would you
fun.
say is on like your bucket list of species that you want to catch?
Bucket list. I wanna catch pariah.
Oh, yeah.
They're they're a crazy critter. You can catch them like in the Amazon and things like that. They got like two big fangs that like go into their bottom jaw. They're just a crazy looking fish. I want to catch a tiger fish. Um, I want to catch a great white. That'd be so cool. Um,
He's like, skip the food chain. Just give me a great white. Yeah.
no, there's so many species I want to catch, man. I'm having kind of a brain fart right now. I can't really think. I want to go up to like Alaska. I want to. I mean, I've caught salmon, but like that's a bucket list trip I want to do. I want to go up to Alaska and do a salmon trip. I want to go to Montana. I think it'd be cool to go to Montana and catch some brown trout. Brown trout are like my favorite fish to catch. I love browns.
Like I have a couple buddies that go to Montana like early fall, and they're like the hopper bite, like fly fishing is just unreal.
Yeah. Like I'm not a big fly fisherman, but if I were to fly fish, I would want to do it in Montana.
Yeah.
100%.
Like the one guy, he was like, dude, we're fishing a stream that's like as wide as my car, catching like 24-inch browns. And
Yeah,
I'm like, that's
so
insane.
sick. That's awesome. Yeah, no, there's so much to do out there, man, between freshwater, saltwater, different countries, and there's so many different species to catch. That's what fires me up about it all. Like there's always that next adventure I want to go on and do.
Love that, dude. And that's the one thing that's cool with what you're doing, obviously from the content side of things, is like that's always going to be there for as long as you want it. You know what I mean? That aspect of it where it's like right now like, you're in your prime for the Elite Series, and it's like chase that dream, and it's like you can go on those adventures, obviously, but then it's like you can always go do that whenever you want. You know, go chase
For sure, man.
random adventures, man.
For
That's
sure.
cool.
And we love filming and documenting it all. Like it's gonna be so cool in like 25 years from now to look back at it all. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I
Mhm.
remember that one time we rented an RV and like froze our butts off and like why did we even do that? That was so stupid. You know what I mean? Like just
Yeah.
it'll be so cool to look back on and just kind of see it all and whatever.
Yeah. All the boys together, everybody's about 50 years old and gray hair, and you're like, oh shit, remember when we did that?
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
Let's do it again.
Talk about the stuff that didn't make the video. Yeah, that was off camera. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Nah,
That's
cool.
awesome. Dude, I got to give a shout out real quick too, because you mentioned him, Doug Wagner. I got a chance to be around him a little bit for a Humber Dakota trip, and that is one of the fishiest dudes I've been around. He's on a different wavelength. We actually have an invite out to him to get him on a pod. We're gonna make it happen eventually, but
yeah, you got him, man.
Filthy.
Yeah, he's you always hear like muskie are the fish of 10,000 casts, not with Doug.
Yeah, no.
No.
10 casts, maybe.
Yeah, literally. Doug is a hammer. We went on a trip. We went on another trip with him like 3 years ago to Green Bay, Wisconsin. And I'll never forget it. Like we're launching the boat in the morning, whatever. This was actually the first time like we met him. And it was funny because we showed up the night before. He was on a guide trip. He's like, yeah, just go in my house and hang out. Like we're in Doug's house. Like never met the dude before. We're in his basement playing with all his musky baits. And me and Colin, my brother, we kind of laughed. We're like, hopefully this dude's cool. Like we're just sitting in his house. We're going to be with him for the next 4 days. And like he got back that night and like we instantly hit it off. We're like, oh, this is going to be awesome, man. Like he's such a good dude. And we ended up musky fishing for the next few days. And the next morning we went out and he made a comment. And he's like, there's a good chance we won't catch one, but if we catch one, it's going to be like a 54-incher. And dude, we went out and caught a 54 3/4. And I'm like,
On the dot.
I've never been fishing with someone who calls their shots like Doug does. Like it's unbelievable. Like he's so dialed. He's on another level for sure. For sure.
Yeah. When people talk about all these loaded bass boats, they should see Doug's boat. That's next level. Like he pulled in and I'm like, now if people are gonna talk about a spaceship for a bass boat, that's a dang spaceship. That thing's badass. Yeah. That's a pretty sick rig.
Yeah, he doesn't mess around.
Cool, yeah. Well, dude, so to start wrapping things up, obviously Classic's coming up. As this gets posted, it'll be I think the following a week from today, you'll be at media day from the day this drops. So you'll be in classic mode. And I'm curious, from a regular season elite event to classic time, does your mindset change at all from like when it goes into practice for that? Are you dodging numbers and just looking for home runs, or you pretty much have the same mentality going into it?
So going into practice, nothing changes. Going to every practice, you try and fish to win, but there's many tournaments throughout the year on the Elite Series where, you know, practice is done and you're going into day one of the tournament. And a lot of the time you're not fishing to win. You're just fishing to catch bass, get some points, right? But with the Classic, it doesn't matter whether you're on them or not. You're going into day one of the Classic fishing to win. You're not fishing for points. So that's definitely different. Yeah, I always hear guys say like, "Oh, I fish to win every tournament," and it's like, you're not. Like, there's times where you go into day one of the tournament and you have nothing. There's places we go to where it's like, I don't know what to do to fish to win. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. There's times where you have to just fish to survive and get good points and prevent a bomb, right? You can only fish to win unless only if you know what you need to do to win. And if you had a bad practice, clearly you don't know what you need to be doing to win. I feel like, for me anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the biggest difference is going into the tournament, you're always fishing to win in the classic. Whereas the elites, sometimes you're going in to just like try and figure something out to try and win. And it gets to the point where sometimes you're just trying to catch bass and have a good derby. But the classic, yeah, I'm fired up. I can't wait. The first classic I ever fished was back in 2023 on the Tennessee River when Gussie won. So it was the worst turn in my whole career. So hopefully we can get some redemption. I think I was like second last. It was terrible. Terrible. I tried I really forced that moping bite and I just could not figure it out at all. But no, I'm looking forward to getting back, man. And I love Knoxville. It's one of the better classics, I think, just because a lot of people attend. Everything's so close. Like, you have the expo, you have weigh-in, and takeoff is right there. Everything's nice and close, and it'll be fun. I'm really looking forward. I love Knoxville. The Tennessee River, it is pretty tough, but at the end of the day, it's tough for us all, and someone's going to crack them for sure. There's going to be some big bags.
Yeah. I think this will be my 7th classic, I think. Knoxville by far was the most. Texas is close, but like Knoxville by far, I think, just especially because the city is such a bassin city.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody comes down for it. That's why I try to describe. There was one kid that was at the expo today that mentioned he's going to the classic this year for his first classic. He's like, "What's it going to be like?" I'm like, "It's going to be a party for 3 days straight." That's basically what it's going to be.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. But well, hey,
be fun.
A Canadian won the last one. Who's to say a Canadian can't win this one? So
I'm gonna try, man. I'll do my best. We'll see what happens. But man, I'm just thankful to be fishing it, and I can't wait to get down there and see all my friends, family, and sponsors. And it's a fun week. It really is. Like, it's by far the most enjoyable and most stressful and most exciting week all in one of the year. So looking forward to getting down there, and we'll see you guys there, and hopefully we can catch big ones every day.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, dude.
We don't want to see you till the end of day 3 is what it comes down to.
Right.
Yeah, hopefully I don't see it till Sunday night.
Yeah, I don't want to see you at the expo at all. None of that crap.
No. I love my sponsors, but I do not want to be there.
Yeah. My wife's coming down for her first ever classic, so now I have somebody to drive me home on Monday after the Cooper Gallant Classic winning party. So we got to make that happen. But for real, dude, thank you so much for taking time out, man. It's always a treat to talk with you, and looking forward to seeing you down in Knoxville, brother.
Sounds good, boys. Thanks for having me on, and we'll see you soon. Safe travels.
All right, folks, and that's going to do it for today's episode, Mr. Cooper Gallant. I need to go back and check Andy to see when the last time we had him. I know it had to have been a Lure Lab he was on within the last.
No, I actually do not believe he has been on a Lure Lab yet. I think we've had conversations about it, but not been able to follow through and have him on. I want to say it was sometime after the hurricane hit like the southeast. Was it a year? Not this past hurricane season, but the season before, because we were raising money to donate.
Okay, we had him in 2024, October 2024. 2022.
What, a year and a half ago.
Yeah, so we weren't far off.
Yeah. Because I remember he pitched in on the donation thing.
Yeah, that's right. I do remember. Yeah. See, you have a fantastic memory, Andy.
What Amanda always says is I remember all the little things that don't really matter all that much, but like if it was my lunch, I would forget it on the counter.
Dude, I am infamous for going to the kitchen, pouring a glass of water, and walking back to the living room without bringing my glass of water.
Oh, same. And then my next move is I'll forget that I left it on the counter, and I'll go get another cup an hour later and fill that one up, and then we'll go into another room with it. It's terrible.
Goldfish brothers. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's just like, where'd the water go? Oh, I must not have poured it. And I'm like, I'll walk back by it later. I'm like, oh, I'm such an idiot.
Yeah. I'll have down here in the office. I'll have like my shaker bottle full of water, a cup of water, and I have a cup of water upstairs with my coffee. And it's like you got stuff everywhere.
Yeah,
I don't know how my wife puts up with it, but here we are. But
Yeah.
folks, appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys are listening on podcast MP3, we still have a bunch of Serious Angler stickers. We actually got a new order in to send out more because you guys are awesome in putting together reviews and ratings, things like that. So if you guys leave a rating, send a screenshot of it, send us an over email or DM on social. We'll send you out some Serious Angler stickers. Also, let us know if you're gonna be at the Classic. We're gonna have most of the crew there. We'll have Louie, Andy, and myself, as well as my wife will be there too. So you guys will be able to meet her if you're at the Classic. The Sheekin will not be there, unfortunately. He'll be fishing a derb on Havasu in Arizona. So feel free to make fun of him even more. We'll miss him at
What
the
a
Classic.
shame.
I know.
He gets to go to
Big bubble.
Arizona, and we're stuck in Tennessee.
Don't say stuck in Tennessee. I love
I
Tennessee.
know it's a joke.
You take
Tennessee's
that back.
awesome.
You take
I'm
that
taking
back.
it back. Taking it back.
But yeah, appreciate
Could
y'all.
be possibly 40 degrees warmer in way more sunshine. So
Yes, knock on wood. Yep,
yeah.
hopefully. Well, folks, appreciate y'all. We'll see you guys on Monday for a new episode of Seriously Western with Cody Meyer.